animals, including buffaloes, tarantulas, and armadillos.
I think people are accustomed to having some sort of partition between them and the natural world, whether it's the suburbs or whether it's a fence or whether it's the glass that is between them and the diorama that's in the museum. I try to get rid of that to some extent. The first thing I do when I get an idea on what animal to work with is I try to learn as much about that animal or plant as possible. The research I'm doing is largely about understanding how much hair do they have and how long are their horns. And then from there, I sort of start to imagine what it would be like to put a camera on that animal. The project, Animal Vegetable Video Where the Buffalo Roam, involves outfitting a buffalo with helmet-mounted video cameras. One of the foundations that I operate on is that if people can see from the perspective of these animals, they will be far less likely to cause them or the habitat that they're seeing harm. What I'm trying to do is to create the world's largest library of video footage that's been captured from the perspective of animals and plants.
I think Sam's work is about looking and the process of looking, and a lot of it has to do with how we look at things, but also how animals look at things. And you're never going to be able to approximate an animal's vision completely, but I think he's attempting to get us to that point of view, which takes you outside of yourself as a viewer.
The kind of movements that are interesting to me are the ones that you can feel the pulse of their limbs moving, or you can feel the stutter on their steps. Animals are funny. There's humor to how they move across the landscape. There was one thing that I did specifically on the shoot that I've never done before. I mounted a camera not on the animal's head. I created a little mount that went on the top of the saddle. I wanted to be able to capture that 2,200 pounds of a huge hulking animal. The role of collaboration is absolutely essential because I can't do this by myself. I need handlers, I need animals most of all.
Good boy.
Just about there, just doing the last couple-minute frame shots.
Hey, I got a good idea, Sam. With all that duct tape, let's just duct tape you to the saddle.
You know, we're about an inch away from doing that.
Yeah.
So. If we could just go to the edge here where it starts the grass,
yep.
And I'm going to see what I have in terms of an image.
Okay.
And then we can maybe just let it go from there.
All right.
That's a ticket. There's a lot that goes into framing. You have to have a part of that animal in the frame, especially in the bottom quarter of the frame. You want to be able to identify with them. We got it. Look at that, it's up at the top.
It's exciting to get shots like that, eh? Huh.
I use the buffalo that works with Mike as an intermediary to allow me to get into the herd. You see nothing but sort of roaming buffalo. I mean, this project, for me, it's about where the buffalo roams. So you see buffalo roaming in front of the camera on the landscape. Those are essential shots.
If you think about American landscape, the tradition of the American landscape in visual culture in the U.S., Sam certainly comes out of this long line of tradition of documenting the landscape from a particular point of view.
I outfitted the buffalo with a tiny video camera sort of right on the tip of its nose, and I just duct taped it right on there. And then let the buffalo go on its own and sort of let the buffalo shoot. I was pleased with the amount of sort of delicate, discreet shots of buffalo drinking. And buffalo eating. Buffalo seeing its reflection in the water. Those are key moments for me because those are in the everyday. It's those little pieces that keep my personal interest going. It's like the larger issues from an environmental level will always be there, but what sort of the day-to-day parts of the videos themselves are those little parts that you're not expecting.